Have you ever found yourself watching a film on your TV or your preferred choice of device and a metaphorical hand taps you on the back of your mind? Hey, did you just miss something? A detail, an important dialogue, some character development, a really good action scene that was shot well, but you couldn't really enjoy fully? Maybe try rewinding it. Just a couple of seconds, not a lot. Maybe press just the default key map to rewind the minimal amount and I'll be happy. I'll be gone. Oh, brother, is it ever happy? The hand will always want more and more and more until what starts as an hour and a half entertainment venture turns into a 3 hour long analytical journey. What do we want from a movie? What do we gain by watching it? Is it just for entertainment, or do we want to experience something deeper? A good story, perhaps, an interesting world, a sense of gratification. I guess what we want from a film varies a lot with the genre of what we're viewing, right? The overarching goal remains the same, to be either entertained or experience a good story, but all genres of film won't give you the same feeling by the end, the same vibe, as we say in the grid. You're not gonna watch Schindler's List or a war film of that vein expecting to feel better about your life. Or maybe you would, considering the shit they had to go through. A better example would be, I guess, horror films. What do we watch them for? To be terrified, to experience the mystery of such a world, to absorb the atmosphere of it? The point is, different films have different components that they specialize in or should specialize in, right? What we as viewers want is to absorb these components not just to the best of our ability, but the most we can, so that we can get something by the end, an optimal outcome. This is what we call min-maxing in grid terms again. And our brains are kind of hardwired to do it. It is my theory that because our subconsciousness wants us to involuntarily maximize this feeling from a film or from any other media, it creates this metaphorical hand in order for us to squeeze everything we can. Sometimes that leads us to want to re-experience scenes that we think we didn't pay attention to or we missed a couple of details of.
Mes frères, vous qui m'avez rejoint dans la lutte, sachez que nous devons.
Well, this brings us to our first reason for this blasphemous behavior: absorbing the details. Films are just a bunch of stuff that happens that leads to a bunch of more stuff to happen that leads to the final stuff happening, right? When you're watching a film that is narratively rich, telling a good story, you really don't want to miss the opportunity of understanding what it's trying to put out in every single scene. So, what do? You watch it again. I've noticed this happening to me, especially a lot with serious dramas or thriller and mystery films, where I always find myself wanting to rewind pretty regularly, scared to death that I missed some detail in the dialogue or the background, the type of films that are obsessed with hiding symbolisms and other isms behind layers of subversive elements. I guess my brain just automatically knows when a film feels like it's deeper than it's letting on, like it's hiding cerebral and technical details in its cinematography, its audio design, and the problem is, I don't even know what it is. I can't figure it out. I've never figured it out, even if I rewind so much, but I do it anyways. I guess it's kind of the narrative that you have to understand a classic film, take in all its bells and whistles. Understanding the filmmaker's intentions is something film nerds like me are kind of obsessed with, even though we fail at doing so. It happens less so with modern films. I don't know why, especially with me, which makes this kind of a vague segment to categorize my behavior, and I realize basically, in caveman terms, my brain is just fucking with me most of the time. A less complicated and vague reason is just getting the human desire to relive cool moments, which includes but not restricted to a beautiful shot with masterful composition, with set design or lighting that is very impressive, John Wick mowing down hordes and hordes of haters, Jack Nicholson crashing out on the truth.
You can't handle the truth!
The desire to rewind and soak in these moments a little bit longer stems from the variety of emotions they make us feel. Excitement, awe, shock, vindication. The weight of these emotions, be it high or low, is what we want to relive. Because isn't that what we watch movies for? To feel something. And to feel something good or satisfying as long as we possibly can becomes more of an instinctive human response. These are the moments that I call the release points of tension, aka catharsis, a satisfactory conclusion to an organic build-up of events, if you want. Without it, films become hollow, endless, sometimes even pointless. It's like chaos without structure, Walter without Jesse, success without failure, Fallout without mods. And yeah, sure, there are some really good movies that revel in the catharsis of not giving you the catharsis, and that in itself is its catharsis. But those are not the type of movies we're talking about today. We'll ignore those for our convenience. Fundamentally, we're all so different in our tastes and our interests, and since I can't really empirically say which emotions or type of scenes leads to the most amount of rewinds, because obviously there's no data for it, there is no formula to really understand how or where or why it works. For me, I snort adrenaline and serotonin for breakfast. So fast-paced, non-slow-mo action sequences is what gets me off. That's where I fall victim to the hand the most. Movies like The Raid, some Jackie Chan classics, even straight to DVD films like Undisputed are like absolute crack for me. I cannot watch them enough. The sheer thrill of living those hand-to-hand sequences, absolute life-threatening stunts, and crazy acrobatic showcase the scenes in these movies provide have made me want to make this video in the first place. Alright, look, I know I'm going in a bit of a circle here, but bear with me, because I think I'm onto something, aren't I? It could be a futile venture into something that simply doesn't exist outside of my bubble, but if it does exist, then this video will bring those people together. Form sort of a cult around something that some may even consider otherwise heretical behavior, especially after what I'm going to tell you next. The theater experience, unfortunately, is becoming more and more novel for my life. I barely go to the big screens anymore, and yeah, you can attribute that to me not having enough friends to watch films with, or to the fact that multiplex companies somehow keep finding ways to fuck my wallet over as much as they possibly can. But the fact is, and the main, primary, glaring, staring at my eyes, slapping me around concern is that I don't enjoy watching films in the theaters much anymore. As I've grown more used to just watching anything and everything at my own pace, in the comfort of my own home, putting in an effort, finding people, spending money, and going to the theaters has become less appealing to me. Which does make me sad, because I have some amazing memories associated with the big screens. I remember my parents used to take me and my sister to the theaters pretty much every weekend, and it was definitely the highlight of the week for me. I don't know if it was that I grew older, my family grew older, the world grew older, but I will always cherish that time of my life. It was magical. For me, the biggest culprit remains unchanged. It's me. I'm the culprit. I changed. The way I viewed films changed. and as I got used to watching films a certain way, I grew more and more detached from the other. When eventually there came a time that I just did not like films that I watched in the theaters, even amazing films that I rewatched on my own and fucking loved. Sure, I get to enjoy movies in my own pace, basically consuming it twice or thrice the amount of time I rewind them, and possibly getting all I can for my money's worth, but that fundamental living in the moment type shit is gone for me. Because I am